Hey guys, it's Dale with the insurance. Today we're talking about an article that is specific to a state, and it's actually a state guide, and we have a ton on our site. So obviously this one is just for this particular state, but don't fret if you live in another part of the country. We have these specific guides for your state. So you can go jump in our website, kind of find your state guide and find information specific to your state. Because as you could imagine, the laws, there are nuances to each state in terms of any specific ordinance that your home may need to be built to, or any code that your home may need to be built to, and then other things that you need to watch out for and make sure that you have proper coverage should you be in a situation where you need it, right, where you've suffered a loss. This specific article is called Colorado Homeowners Insurance, right? Colorado, thankfully, is more vanilla in that it doesn't have specific laws and ordinances like a California might, where you need to really have your ears perked up. But there are a few things, a few coverages that are covered within this article that that not just Coloradans need to keep in mind when buying homeowners insurance. I think everybody should keep these in mind because they're small coverages that are often tucked into a homeowner's policy. But once you have kind of a loss, right? Once you suffer an event and need homeowners insurance, these coverages become just as important as the primary kind of structural coverage and the personal property coverage that people tend to think about when they think about homeowners insurance. But either way, to start, if you have kind of a mortgage, then you're in Colorado, you're certainly going to need homeowners insurance. Not just need it. The bank in which you have your mortgage with will make you get homeowners insurance before they sign on a dotted line to fund the purchase of the home. If you don't have a mortgage and you're lucky enough to buy your home outright, good on you. That's great. But it's in your interest to protect that investment, right? Most oftentimes it's one of the largest purchases a person will make in their life. Go ahead and protect that investment should something happen to it. The coverages, I'm sure you guys know that it covers kind of your fire, your wind, your things like that, your liability if something happens on your property. The things it doesn't cover, most policies are not going to cover flood. It's not going to cover extraordinarily expensive material like artwork or jewelry. Those are things that you need to, while you're in the process of getting home insurance, you need to let the underwriter know that, hey, I've got a $20,000 or $30,000 painting, or I have some lavish furs that collectively cost about $50,000, right? They're going to want to take that property out and schedule it, or have kind of a policy specifically tailored to that piece of property, right? Because it's not they're not going to cut out in a cookie cutter homeowners policy. There's no additional coverage for a $20,000 piece of artwork, right? There may be coverage for art, but it's at kind of your minimal limits, $500 or $1,000 per piece or something like that, at a max of $2,000, right? So those are just a few things to note. A few of the coverages that they point out, or we point out in this article, that I think are of value are the ordinance and law coverage, right? So this is typically tucked in a policy, and the carriers typically give you about 10%. And this coverage is specifically for if you suffer a major loss say your house burns down. House was built, let me say, my house was built in the 80s, right? So things have changed significantly, right? Let's say that you needed to rebuild this house, and in order to rebuild it, things needed to be of code. Let's say that the piping that goes into the sewage system needs to be, I don't know, steel or some grade of metal that it is not right now, right? And that's a heavy duty job. You then have an additional 10%, right, on top of whatever limits are embedded in your policy to bring your newly built home up to code, right? Something you would not think about, right, while you're getting a policy, but if you suffer a loss, you would be thinking about it, right? Because that can come out of your pocket. In this case, it will not. The other coverage is debris removal, right? Definitely not something you're thinking about on the front end of purchasing a policy. But on the back end, you've got a bunch of rubble, and this is a dreary situation. You've suffered a loss, you've got a bunch of rubble, all of your valuables in your, I don't want to say your life because you shouldn't identify completely with your home, but where you kind of lay your head to rest and get sleep and eat and raise your family. You've got all those mementos there. It's burned down. It's in no shape to be lying around. How are you gonna you can't rebuild without moving this to a dump site, right? And it takes a lot of effort, a lot of labor, a lot of heavy machinery, and you've got to be careful while doing it. And it costs money. And typically this is embedded in a typical homeowner's policy at 5 to 10% of your coverage limit, and it's additional. And those are two kind of coverages that, once again, I say they're typically in a homeowner's policy. Make sure they are on the front end, because once again, on the back end, you will not have thought of this, but it will be important if you suffer a loss. So hopefully all of that is helpful. Thanks for stopping by, guys, and we'll chat next week. Hey guys, thanks for watching our video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more awesome content. And if you really liked it, hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. We love hearing from you. We love hearing from our viewers. So be sure to leave a comment below with your thoughts on this video, and we'll see you in the next one.